Greetings everyone, Angrade here of another Age Mythology Replay. So on top left side as the blue Thor, we got BusteR with a capital R. So on bottom right side as the red Patron goddess, we got Thunder, I think. Either way, let's get started. Because of major and minor gods, of course the Thor is the dwarves in the armory, stars dwarves in the gatherers, dwarves cost less, and almost as good as gatherers in food and wood, but not as good. Dwarf armors can be built in research upgrades in any age. Armor upgrades also cost less to get free dwarf per upgrade, and can research additional upgrades. The upgrade also does support Herseers. And when it comes to the minor gods, this is more focused on dwarves and its upgrades. Economic focus. You get 4 steady, which does give another upgrade for the blacksmith. Give you healing spring, trolls to troll your opponent, infantry, and hero speed, which also is a bit more focused on Herseers, so this will be helpful to improve their speed. And as well as their nope, that's just Erdman and Berserk. Freja improves forest fire. We've got the Valkyrie. Thundering Hooves improve your cavalry and Valkyrie's hit points and speed. Let's also improve the hit points of your Herseers as well enable your Goaty early and get them plus 10% hit points. So both are, I would say, a good option for Thor. The Patron Goddess does provide a focus of technology. Towns and citadels for additional population. You get Divine Shield around your monuments, empowered and doubles the range. Generates favor as well as empowered monuments generate even more favor and healing the units nearby as well, so a lot of monument focus. Technology just costs 10% less, very nice to have, and obelisks are 5 cents cheaper. Additionally, you get Flood Now, which gives you a little bit of food trickle rate, and a very useful god power. Both of these have 2 very useful early gold-based god powers. Of course, for her, got Anubis and Boss. You get Serpent's not that great. Anubite's pretty good harassing jumping infantry. More favors, always very nice to have. And of course, Serpent Spear, which makes your spear do a pathetically additional like 2 damage over 6 seconds of poison damage. It's horrible, not great. Don't worry about this upgrade, it's worthless. And you got Boss, got Eclipse, Sphinx, and 2 upgrades for your Sphinx. Villagers gather food faster, a little bit worse off than farms, but still plus 5%, so nice. And better chop rate and chopping. So both are okay. Nothing screams out to me. I do like Foth's upgrades, but I hate Wadgets. They're absolutely worthless in my opinion. I think they're just not good. Elk being obtained. For relics, we do have Horror's Hunting Bow. Gather food faster from hunted animals, very nice to have. You have this relic here, the Head of Orifice. Improves buildings line of sight by 8, so you just put that head on top of buildings and hopefully it just tells you everything that comes by. Wait, is this like the first hero for Demeter? For hers? The guy who plays loot? How does that make any sense? Line of sight, the guy in loot? I wonder what the gods had in store for him. Towers sets it. Towers increase damage for myth units, very nice to have. Good defensive upgrade. And for Oboye, heroes get a little bit of health regen. I wonder if that affects the Son of Osiris. If it does, that would be great. Because Son of Osiris cannot receive any healing from other sources. Ulfsark, or smacking the butt of these elks to herd them. Look at that herding there. A lot of decay though. You got these cows here. Gotta keep those doggies rolling. And here more cows. Do you know modern milk cows, the Holstein cows, provide approximately 6 to 8 gallons of milk per day? And I don't know what that is in liters, but that's effective. That's well over what 20. I think that's 25 kilograms of milk per day, and that could also be is 1-for-1 for cheese. So you can get 25 kilograms of cheese per day. That's a lot of milk and cheese from a single cow. Granted, those are the modern Holstein cows who like needs like It's recommended to have at least 2 acres of land. You still need feed for them. They eat a lot. They need to eat a lot to convert all that grass and alfalfa and hay into milk.
And wheat.
All what's going on up. Gonna fast forward since the early eco phase. Gonna be enjoying the music. Temple almost built. Not, oh, we got a new bite going. Nubis being researched. Very nice. The Pharaoh grabs a relic, and that's the not so great relic there. But then again, plus 8 line of sight for all of those monuments. Let's see. That's 8. Not bad. Is it worth tasking a Pharaoh for that? I'm not sure. We do have priest relics. This is very nice to have. Always nice to have. The upgrades of relics may not be too fantastic, but they're always nice to have. I do like how they balance it. Also, relics also provide tiny trickle of favor, which is actually a pretty good counterpart. After all, the previous game, Age of Empires 2, relics provide a trickle of gold. A trickle of favor is just very fitting. We do have now Freyja versus Anubis. We got the Anubite ready to bite. He's a bit more he's not necessarily all bark, no bite. He's all bite. It doesn't really bark, it more growls. You will spot these forest puppers. Ox cart going on up. As my ox carts, they can just follow you around, so if you don't necessarily need it more than one carcass, you can just simply have a task forward. Got some chickens who roam the land. When were chickens introduced into say Greece, since we know that chickens are available in the campaign, the Greek campaign? Because chickens are actually native to Southeast Asia, originally known as, if I remember correctly, as red jungle fowl. There is a Sam O'Nella video about it. It makes me wonder when chickens were introduced into the West. Because sugar wasn't really introduced into the West. When I say West, I mean Europe. Until, like, I think the first bits of it arrived in apparently 1000. And then it really became popular after the first crusade was like 1200. Some stuff is later, some stuff is earlier than you expect. Because the Albus has gone down there. The Pharaoh really hates that lady. The Valkyrie goes down to the Pharaoh, who's down south, being hyper aggressive with the Pharaoh there. Got a good number of these raiding cavalry. Best go for some spearmans. Do have the Necropolis upgraded queued on up. One thing I do like is the fact that a lot of the god powers or god upgrades, mythological upgrades, that is meant to improve favor generation, they have the favor cost removed. If I remember correctly, all of those had favor costs in Gold Edition. But then again, I don't think... Actually, they may have actually had a different aspect entirely, because most of the Gold Edition stuff didn't really have upgrades or anything that improved favor generation, did it? After all, the oracles didn't generate favor for the Atlanteans before, and it was the town centers. I'm pretty sure the golden apples did something different as well. I can't remember now. Dalvus has gone down, no longer will torment his opponent. So we got some exotic doggos there. Some basic walls going up. Got a couple of new bites here. They are guardian new bites, so they have pretty good attack speed and damage, so they have pretty good DPS. But also maintain pretty good armor as well. Couple obelisks have been going on up to torment his opponent. Axeman there. Spearman stabbing the Ulfsark. You have the poison spears, which I find that upgrade completely worthless. Gives just 2 damage over 6 seconds. It's not good. I'm pretty sure it doesn't stack either. I find that upgrade borderline worthless. Those back in the corner there. Not much else to go. Could delete this house there. We got some spearmans here. Priest does go down. Spearmans fall back to the town center as well. These guys can be tasked to collect the delicious pieces of venison there. Does back himself into a corner. Red has a bad path there. Does manage to get a good strike there. Yeah, if you look at this guy here, the poison damage, he probably did actually just take only 2 points of poison damage. Doesn't stack or anything of that sort. Here, a bit of healing there. Priest healing up the Axemans and Nubites. He decided not to bring those units forward. They're actually slower. Spearmen are actually pretty quick. They're 5 movement speed, which is the same move speed as the Chariot Archer. Oh, nice. Speaking about speed, does get him stuck there. Some of the villagers getting hit by the raiding cavalry. Axemans. Might as well to counter axes. You need to pull out axes. Obelisk going down. It will torment him no longer. You now have Scotty now queued on up. Scotty, of course, provides throwing axemans. The best thing I think about Scotty is the Winter Harvest. Plus 20% collection rate on your farms is pretty good. And I mentioned plus 10% from collecting it from all other food sources is also very good. And also got Hammer of Thunders, improving the damage from Herseers by 15%. Frost Giants, I'm not a big fan of Frost Giants, but I know a lot of players who love Frost Giants because they know how to micro them and lock down individual myth units and high value units, which is very, very good. The Frost ability is quite useful as well. It's a great way to, say, target army, stop, or maybe half the army and lock it down, so allow them to pick off the other half, or continue forward, or backwards, stall. It's a very flexible ability, to say the least. Exotic Cow goes down. Do have Nephthys queuing up, gives you Scorpion Mans. And Funeral Rites, so you get a bit of gold rebate or refund upon death. Scotty complete. Good number of priests here for forward healing, very nice. It really does save you a lot of resources having priests heal up everything. After all, priest costs 100, spearmen cost 75. So if you save, let's just say 2 spearmen half or 3/4 health, 2/3 health missing, that one priest has paid for itself. A lot of obelisks being put on the field to torment his opponent. Barracks, barracks. monument to the soldiers. Which one thing of that the patron goddess could do is delete her monument to villagers, redeploy the front line since it's the cheapest of the monuments, and then empower it to get a pretty good divine shield and as well as some health regen here. Winter Harvest being queued on up, very good upgrade. Some slingers here. Let's see, Nephitis. I'm trying to remember what he also provides. Priest upgrades, various priest stuff for better healing capabilities. Very nice. So your anti-myth unit counter unit is more effective. Very nice to have. Because let's honestly, priest DPS is not great. 3.4, even though they do have ×5 multiplier for smith units. They're not actually fantastic for smith units. They're more on the lines of soft counter than hard counter against smith units. We got some snakes here being summoned, nibbling away against these units. I think they are classified as myth units, so heroes just wouldn't shot them, pretty much. Slingers are, of course, a good counter to the throwing axemen. You go for mixing slinger and axemen to counter throwing axemen. Slingers, of course, guaranteed to be a counter, while the axemen do counters each other. And looks he is going for that. Heavy axeman, medium slinger. Oh, here's a fun fact. Slings in real life are like whips. They can, the edge of the sling can actually break the sound barrier. You can cause sonic booms like a crack of the whip. That's actually what the crack of the whip is. It's also a sonic boom with a sling. So to make this more historically accurate, or game about myth units, the champion units, let's just say those the very professional ones good with a sling, should make a cracking sound whenever they throw a rock. I think it is possible the sling could be louder than a 22.
Great.
But can't say for sure. We do have some berating cavalry employed field, which of course has to be countered by spearmans. They're meant to counter the slingers, but also probably be decent counter the axemen, since they're just simply not a infantry unit. I guess raiding cavalry not necessarily counter the axemen. The axemen just a counter unit can't be useful against the cavalry. We do have now Thor queued on up, which gives you access to the meteors, Phoenix, and a bunch of other stuff. What's the other stuff again? Phoenix, Empower Double Train from Middle Strong Forts, better collection rate, and War Elephants. No, I really don't see War Elephants deployed all too often. Maybe this is the time we'll see some elephants. Do you have now ancestors being summoned? Oath is almost completed. Meteor God Power is both good versus structures and units. Bronze upgrades. We do also Spirit of Mott. Better priest healing rate and reduce their cost by 30%. Right now, the Patron Goddess has a lot of wood stockpiled. May want to hold off a little bit. Task, remove all but like 10 villagers collecting up wood to other things. There's been gold. Meteor's been summoned here. Direct hit. A lot of good hits there. See these carcasses really going up. Really hammered down. Though his armor was split up in 2 locations. Let's see, we do have Boulder queued on up. Pharaoh here. Collects up all resources better by 10%. There's a Phoenix. Don't see any gold in the field, just throwing Axemen. Phoenix have 50 damage and 4 AoE. Their range is pretty short though. It's basically melee for a flying unit. They also have very little hack armor, so throwing Axemen will be able to do good damage versus it. Of course, it'll be a little bit a sitting target. Good number of idle units here, and most of them are slingers, useful in this situation. Look at those axes. Connects, of course, priests can heal the flying birdie. Birdmen, throwing axemen, aging on up, or iron upgrades. What's strange? I don't think I've really seen the final level upgrades all too often from Thor all too often. His next one, of course, is the meteoric stuff. Meteoric armor, dragon skull, dwarven weapons. Sesamarume, increasing hero hit points by 10%. Ball, of course, give access to fire giants and Ragnarok. There's both fire and ice giants. Trade archers firing away. Good number of Goaty being queued on up. Got the dwarven weapons. All upgrades, including the watchtower. Fortified town center. Patron Goddess doesn't have too many resources at the moment. It does have triple town center. Blue has 101 villagers rather than Dalmatians. Plenty of food. Needs more gold and wood. Liquid gold. Both players have over 100 favor, which is pretty nice. Good to see another ancestors. Got a lot of counter units here, and good number of units to counter right there. Trade archers are being put in mass. Does have good number of slingers on the field as well. Trade archers do have bonus damage versus infantry, so they will do bonus damage versus throwing axemen. Their attack speed is relatively slow though. I hear the Phoenix here, engaging the fire giant. It's a firefight. Looks like the fire guy won. The fire thing. All Starks queued on up. Do have now the Dragon Skilled armor being researched. Phoenix flying forward as well. Got two Phoenixes now deployed in the field. Good number of heroes here to intercept though. Phoenix goes down. This egg could be scrambled, but not really being focused down. Getting hit by a couple of Sarks now. So the egg will get scrambled. This one does go down, and looks like the egg cannot rehash on top of there. That would be a pretty safe spot for it though. Ragnarok and roll. That is another 100 heroes on the field. He does have 2 town centers in the field. Of course, they won't be able to deploy out anytime soon. Probably should have got a good number of ox caravans before that point. Problem is, Red doesn't have too much of an army. He knows he's fighting against Ragnarok, which means, and these are all classified as infantry, so Chariot Archer's a good idea. Axeman's good as well. The Patron Goddess does use Prosperity now, going for more Axemans and some camels. Probably gonna either cancel camels and just weather the storm. Ancestors being summoned. They are myth units, so the heroes are gonna cause some issues. Good number of Axemen here to intercept. These heroes are Ragnarok. You have 61% attack armor, 18 damage, low attack speed, so they're doing 14 DPS. Axemen right now have 123 health, times 4 multiplier with 8.8 attack damage, so they do great damage. Similar armor. Axemen definitely the good counter in this situation. Here's a Ragnarok straight forward. Some civilians being requeued on up. Red's lost a good number of civilians as well. Red has some wood to work with, not much of other resources. Handful of camels are being deployed in the field. Number of watchtowers for defense. We didn't get any tiny wars fixes. Sorry. With the my internet going bad, it's like I just couldn't cast on the day, and I have certain days for certain games. You have serpents now being summoned somewhere, which are probably not going to be very useful against these heroes of Ragnarok. More camels being summoned.
Into you.
Axemen doing a good job of engaging the heroes of Ragnarok. Got some ballista here. Down south, more heroes of Ragnarok. To be fair, today is not exactly a great day as well, because there's a good chance I may lose power due to all the high windstorms we've been having here. When I got home from work, but I lost power twice. So I'm lucky enough that I'm able to keep power on my lights on. Camels are going down. And Red is unable to withstand the Ragnarok. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.